Women's professional bowling has been around in one form or another since 1960. In 1981, the Ladies Pro Bowlers Tour was founded, and a tournament was held in Rockford, Illinois, each and every year until the PWBA folded in 2003. Some of the greatest names in women's bowling history, including 19 PWBA Hall of Famers, have won here in Rockford. In 2015, the USBC brought women's pro bowling back, and a new list of bowling best has emerged. Who will add their name to the long list of champions in Rockford? We find out as we return to the former home of women's pro bowling, the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois. And it comes your way right now on CBS Sports Network. From the Cherry Bowl in Rockford, Illinois, a town where it all started. For the PWBA Tour, it's time to start the 2022 tour season with a Rockford Open. 5 of the world's best bowlers are here, with one goal in mind, winning the title and a place in women's bowling history. Welcome, bowling fans. Dave Ryan alongside Sidney Brummett, PWBA Tour bowler, former national champ, here in Rockford, a city that hosted the PWBA with an event between 1973 and 2003. We're so glad to be back in the birthplace of the Women's Tour. Step ladder bowling today. Here is the final 5. Look at the list. To start, best friends, longtime Team USA teammates Stephanie Johnson and Shannon O'Keefe will match up. The winner takes on legendary Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick. Former collegiate star Brianna Clemmer is the number 2 seed. Our top seed, 2-time champion, including a major, Liz Culkin. Liz joins us now. Liz, we talked about last night how being the top seed can be tough. What are you going to do now in terms of your focus between this moment and the championship match?
Yeah, it's interesting because I really haven't had much experience being a higher seed, but I'm definitely going to keep warm over here, but I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to what's going on the set because I need to pay attention to transition a lot.
Yeah, Liz, you told us that you plan to watch and all the matches that come up until you're on TV. Did the lanes play any different in the practice session that you just participated in?
You know, everything is going to change when the lights come on. I've bowled enough TV sets to know that they usually play different. The pattern isn't laid down as many times, so they definitely played a little bit different. I was able to pay attention with the other girls bowling, so I'll just pay attention right now and look for the transition.
Liz, thanks for your time. See you in the championship match.
Thank you.
Our top seed from near Albany, New York, and now a future for the sport, oil pattern Sid today. Tell us what the bowlers will be competing on here.
So we bowled on 39 feet in length, medium volume, really high scoring pace. The women have 2 options. You're going to see the first one is they're going to play a little bit further to the right, or they can move left and shape it to the outside of that dark oil. When they do that, they're going to create a lot of room for themselves, and also the girls who can get a little bit further left are probably going to have a lot of success.
High scoring pace. Gonna be fun to watch here today in Rockford.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 5 seed from McKinney, Texas, Stephanie Johnson.
Back on TV. Plano, Texas, now our hometown in the Metroplex. Three-time titleist on tour. Almost crosses over for a Brooklyn strike, her first shot. And you know, Sid, from being in this situation, the nerves are exploding right now. It's a season opener.
Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie is probably just trying to get her feet underneath her. I mean, we have wood approaches here at the Cherry Bowl, and so typically they're really nice for footwork, very consistent. But when the nerves are high and the adrenaline's rushing, you never quite know what you're going to get.
6, 9, 10 to open up here for Stephanie. Looking to cover. Fans knew right away. Great bowling town that you had it. And a great shot and a mark for Stephanie Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 4 seed from Shiloh, Illinois, Shannon O'Keefe.
Just across the state line from St. Louis. Shannon O'Keefe, great bowler, great coach, head coach at McKendree, national champs this year. She has the Bearcat colors. As always, on TV, Shannon's first shot. That's a little touch high, and the 3-10 baby split. Not the way either bowler wanted to start the day.
Throughout the week, we saw that on the fresh, it was really easy to miss in front of you. So we're going to see Shannon's shot here is just a little bit further left down lane than she would have liked. She wants the ball to be going more towards the 6-pin. That one was more in front of the 3-pin, down lane.
Tricky little cover to begin your day. And handles it nicely. 14-time titleist on tour. 2-time player of the year in 2018 and 2019. An absolute legend on the lane, Shannon O'Keefe.
She converts this perfectly. Her ball goes from the 3-pin to the 10-pin. Barely clips the 10-pin, but in bowling, all you have to do is hit them. Doesn't matter how pretty it is.
Doesn't matter, right, Sid? Doesn't matter. First trip to the left lane for Shannon. And a 4-pin for O'Keefe. So they are best friends. They are now retiring Team USA teammates after 18 years on Team USA, announcing this year that they are leaving the team after just an incredible run.
Yeah, I was a teammate of theirs for 5 years, and it was a blessing. Both of them are such great mentors. And so to see them retire was absolutely crazy to hear. It was a surprise to me. Actually, I had no idea.
So you were shocked?
I was shocked. I was at convention when they announced it, and I think we have a clip of it right here. Shannon and Stephanie announcing it. I was sitting about 10 rows back while they were telling their stories. I was like, oh my gosh, I was there for some of those, and to see them celebrate their friendship. They met on Team USA.
Isn't that something?
So it was really cool.
18 years ago. They are road roommates on tour. They are social media buddies, everything. Is these two head-to-head now on TV. And we got a strike in the right lane for Stephanie Johnson. So interesting. Sid and our chat with them last night about bowling head-to-head. They said, look, once we start, it's about winning as we check out Stephanie's form here.
What I love about Stephanie is how long she is. You can see right here, her shoulders stay nice and open, and that allows her ball to have a clear path to swing through, and it makes it easy for her to recreate her launch angles time after time. She's one of the most accurate out here, which is what makes her so great.
Players Championship, her major on her home lanes, her home center in Plano, Texas. That was incredible. 4 years ago, left lane here for Johnson. That looks good. Hit is good. Crunches the 1-3 pocket. All 10 back for Steph.
Steph is throwing two different balls. On the right lane, it looks like she might believe she's throwing an X2. And on this left lane, she's throwing a Zen Soul. Very different bowling balls. One is symmetric, one is asymmetric. So obviously the players are seeing these two lanes play differently.
O'Keefe, third frame. That misses the mark. The 1-2-4. Way light and way right. What happened?
I would say it's just a miscue. She talked to us a little bit about some hip pain that she's been having, and she's a little afraid to use her legs. And so when that footing isn't quite right and she's not as stable as she wants to be at the line, typically her shots do miss right. For me, that's what that looked like.
She's had a lot of physical therapy, work with a chiropractor. Covers. 1-2-4. She said it was about 3 straight months without being able to practice pain-free in the off-season. That's tough. Left hip has been giving her a lot of problem. That plant leg, plant foot. And she said it was last night. It goes back to being a fast-pitch softball player when I was 8 years old growing up in Oregon, that been using that part of my body for so long. Just been worn down, but lots of ice. Sometimes just got to bowl through it. Left lane, Shannon, that's high again though. 3, 6, 10. Looking for some great PWBA gear? Visit the official online store of the PWBA at shoppwba.com. Good stuff there, Sid.
I may or may not have purchased 3 items.
Today or this week? Okay.
We got some new stuff.
I'm going to the website
good.
after the show, man. Absolutely.
The new red hoodie is my favorite.
Yeah. Covers 3, 6, 10. That's the good news. The bad news is she has not found the pocket yet. No strikes for Shannon O'Keefe and her best friend and soon-to-be former Team USA teammates. Hard to believe that even say that out loud after the great run. Stephanie Johnson, nice lead. Looking for a 27-pin lead here with a strike. Looks for the turkey. 4th frame. Got it. 3 straight. Nice lead for Stephanie Johnson, who made some friends in the Chicago area. Little Landon, two-handed lefty. Landon Henderson, only 4 years old. Stephanie reposted some video of Landon recently, and Landon's mom DM'd her on social media. Hey, thanks so much for posting Landon's video in action as a star bowler. Stephanie said, hey, I'll put you on my list for fans. Why don't you come on out? They came from the Chicago area and had a jersey made up for him, and he's watching today, rooting on Stephanie Johnson. It's pretty cool. Young fan. Love it. Landon's favorite ball looks for the 4-bagger. And no help on the 7-pin. But still a nice lead about halfway home here in our first match.
We saw that 7-pin leave quite a bit this week. We're going to see the ball, when it starts to go through the pins, we're going to see it exit the pin deck through the 9-pin. All that means is the ball's hooking a little bit early, going forward down lane. If her ball would continue through the 8-9, we would see all 10 pins go down. Instead, she leaves the 7-pin. She'll make a small adjustment next time.
Win probability, well, there it is. Looking very good here for Steph. Family watching back home in Dallas. Former PBA star Chris Johnson, her husband, and the kids are watching. And there's Landon, he's here. Sid. Yeah, go Steph, go. Future star on the PBA tour maybe one day.
Maybe. She
14
reposted
years,
it.
15 years.
Yeah, and she told Belmo to look out. I believe he's a two-handed lefty.
He's a lefty like
So
Jesper
maybe
and
Jesper or Packy. Need
Packy,
to watch
that's right.
out.
Yeah, like you, Wichita State guy, right? All right, Shannon has some work to do. 5th frame works on a spare. That looks a touch high. Almost had another 310 baby split 3-pin, so she's not quite found the pocket. What's going on here?
For me, I watched her ball rep walk into the locker room during the practice, and he was taking a ball and putting more surface on it. We hadn't seen that much at all this week. Her ball is not slowing down early enough, so she's feeling a little bit uncomfortable. If she misses right, it goes way right. If she's missing left, it reacts to the dry and goes dead left. If I was Shannon, I would be switching to something that's slower response.
Well, there's no tomorrow. This is a single game match, so it's win or else in our step ladder final.
What is so cool about Shannon O'Keefe is this right here, how stacked her legs are underneath her body. There is absolutely no other person on the tour who stacks their body as well as Shannon O'Keefe does. Without that, she doesn't win.
Nice breakdown. All right, left lane, Shannon. There it is. Much needed strike to get back in the match. And at the midway point, her best friend, Team USA teammate, Stephanie Johnson of 18 years. It's an amazing storyline. They're retiring after 2022 from Team USA. Match next. Rockford, Illinois, the Rock River. northern part of the state near the Wisconsin line. Great bowling country. Steph Johnson, 27-pin lead at her best friend Shannon O'Keefe in our first match. The winner takes on the 3 seed Kelly Kulik, who joins us now. Hey, Steph, the Hall of Famer. Kelly talked about wanting to love the sport again and trying to get yourself mentally ready for the show. When we met last night, how you feeling right now?
Yeah, Dave, I feel great today. You know, I'm going through my processes of just visualization and what I do well physically. My keys are just to keep my head on my target. I still love bowling. I love it for being the head coach of Junior Team USA and getting to work with those kids along the way and seeing how it's progressed. I just want to enjoy it on the lanes again, but I'm ready to attack them today.
How does it feel to be back at Cherry Bowl where all the history, of the PWBA is right here?
Yeah, 2001, 21 years ago is where I first got my start here on the PWBA Tour. Thanks to John Summer and him being the ambassador of bowling, continuing to bring women's bowling back in this center, as well as the senior men and PBA. It's great to be back home, and I appreciate all the effort that's gone into to bring us back here this week.
Thanks, Kel. Good luck today. Always great to see Kelly Kulik competing and broadcasting, and of course, glad to have you here. If you're not on the show, John Summer, the Hall of Famer, there he is to the right of Steph Johnson, and who founded the tour. He has great family, run 5 bowling centers here in the Rockford area, one of which is the Cherry Bowl, origin of this great tour. Okay, Johnson, big lead, out of the break, looking for some help, does not get into the 10-pin. So, Sid, now you're Steph Johnson. You've got a nice lead on your best friend. You're trying to get to Kelly Kulik, Hall of Famer. What's your mindset like to try to close this match out?
Just keep your foot on the gas. We have to keep pressing and keep pushing, remain having a sense of urgency, because the reality is you're bowling Shannon O'Keefe. You're not bowling somebody who it's their first time on TV. Shannon knows how to find a way to strike and do it quickly and do it a lot.
Ten-pin, fans knew it. Out of her hand, she had it. Has a single pin spare conversion, no problem.
Talking to Steph's ball reps during the break, we found out that she's throwing a pin-up Zen Soul on the left lane. She drilled this one for the show. So most of the time throughout the week, she threw one that was pinned down. The pinned down one is going to be a little bit slower when it comes out the friction, where this pin-up one is going to be a little bit more responsive. She wants some help down lane compared to the one that she threw the rest of the week.
Let's see if that pays off. Wood approaches here. High scoring lane pattern, but a bucket leave here for Johnson.
This shot gets right early. So what I mean is this break point where her ball is, I would love to see it left of there. That is what would allow her ball to go through the pins the right way, where she leaves a bucket instead when she misses right early.
Wanting to convert the bucket. The fans just know it. I guess they just know it because there's such great bowling fans here. Totally connected to the sport. And she's able to convert that, no worries at all. But here comes Shannon. And Sid, you said it a moment ago, we see the win probability is still high for Steph. This is Shannon O'Keefe, a 2-time player of the year, an absolute lock future Hall of Famer, who goes for her first double of the match in the 7th to cut it to 12. A lot of bowling left. Big shot. Big strike.
That was really good.
Answer. Shannon O'Keefe.
Shannon looked a lot more comfortable on that shot. I'm not sure if she changed her angles, just got her eyes in the right spot. She talks a lot about her launch angles staying the same. She wants to be stable. She wants to see the picture clearly. And if not, she's just going to hit a target and keep moving forward until she gets comfortable. That shot, she looked, as she puts it, like Shannon O'Keefe.
One title last year, PWBA Bowlers Journal Classic in Arlington, Texas. She's done it all in the sport of bowling. And now she wants a win. And now she's got Out of the break, the back-to-back jacks. She's got a turkey. It's a 2-pin match. And look at the win probability change there, Sid. The number is fluid.
Absolutely. You never know what your opponent's going to do. Bowling is so unique in that we have 10 opportunities, 12 if you strike twice in the 10th frame, to get it right. Just because the first couple of frames aren't great doesn't mean you're out of a match. It just means that you need to get comfortable a little bit more quickly so you can force your opponent to show up when they may not feel the most comfortable anymore.
It's a huge shot here. 8th frame works on a spare. Right lane for Steph Johnson. Big strike. Well, Stephanie told us last night, Sid, about something she read recently, an acronym that she is trying to live by on the lanes. SFE. See it, feel it, embrace it. It's about the moment. It's about visualization. Right now she's looking at strikes. That's what she's thinking about.
Yeah, she said you have to see yourself there for it to be a possibility of winning, and there were just little moments throughout the week where words of affirmation came into play. Like, oh, she saw the TV production people and she said, okay, I'll see you on the show, or man, this is the jersey I'm going to wear. She just kind of knew.
Yeah, before she locked up her spot in the show, she was asking Shannon, what are you going to wear on the show? Max scores. There you see it. This could be an incredible finish. Foundation frame. Big shot. Steph Johnson. Trip 10 pin. Down it goes. Big strike.
And what's crazy is that shot is not that much different than the one that left a bucket. It's getting it to the right a couple feet later, maybe 2 feet later than the one before. One buckets, one doesn't. And that's how difficult the patterns are that the women bowl on the PWBA.
Our biggest fans, Levi, Kenzie, and kids, are watching back home in the Dallas area. Her best friend, O'Keefe, steps up. 9th frame. Yes! 7-pin down late. Oh, man. We have a great finish brewing here in Rockford.
That ball went a little long. It's a little bit in front of her, and throughout the week, when we had our ball be a little bit in front of us, we tended to not carry. The fact that all 10 fell down is mostly just because Shannon commits to shots better than anyone on tour. And for some reason, the pins know when you're committed and not committed.
Left lane, another big shot. No help on the 10-pin this time.
There was also a ball change for Shannon at some point in the last couple of frames. She switched from a UC2 to a dart code. The dart code is going to be a little bit less responsive than the UC2. And this is what I thought was going to happen on the last shot. I thought she was going to 7-pin for the same reason she 10-pinned on this lane.
Cross lane, 10-pin, got back. Several conference and national Coach of the Year awards for Shannon O'Keefe. Husband Brian is here, Team USA coach, and co-coach on the McKendree team as well. NCAA championship this year in Columbus, Ohio. She has an official recruiting visit on Monday. That'll be tomorrow. So 5 hours back home, Southern Illinois near St. Louis for that, and then back to Addison, of course, for what's happening on the women's tour leading up to USBC Queens. Busy time, Shannon O'Keefe. 7-pin. Nine spare, 8 for Steph to advance. 220 game for her best friend.
Steph in this moment looks like she's just worried about sticking to her process. It looks no different than any other shot. She told us it's just her versus the pins.
Steph Johnson. Just got to keep it on the lane for a win over Shannon O'Keefe. Big strike, big moment for Stephanie Johnson. Is she ever signed with Shannon? I love it. I mean, that's, best friends and teammates. She's pretty happy for Stephanie as well.
Steph told us if Shannon wins, it's cool. If I win, it's cool. Because no matter what, it's a win for us.
Stephanie Johnson's going to win this match. Takes it over best friend Shannon O'Keefe. And she'll climb the ladder to take on the Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick, the 3 seed next. Wow, big superstars head-to-head to begin the 2022 PWBA Tour season.
Steph's going to try a different ball here. She just wants to get a look. She may be seeing that X2 is getting a little bit slow. It's getting a little lazy down lane, having trouble knocking down all 10. So this idle pearl is going to be a little quicker.
That's what you do when you're the head coach of the national champs at McKendree. But the moment belongs right now to Stephanie Johnson. She advances to take on Kelly Kulick, opening the season of the PWBA Tour here on CBS Sports Network. .243.220. Stephanie Johnson trying to climb the ladder here at the PWBA Rockford Open beginning the 2022 season. Over best friend and Team USA teammate Shannon O'Keefe. Next is Kelly Kulick, the 3 seed against Stephanie Johnson. Well, breathing is a very important part of any bowler's game, as the 2021 Queen's champion Julia Bond tells us in this week's BCTV Tip of the Week.
A lot to me, so I focus a lot on my breathing. When I'm up on the approach and I have a shot that's really important to me, I make sure that my breathing is under control.
We'll get 10, and we'll get a win.
I like to breathe in for 4 counts, hold it for 2, and then breathe out for 6. And if you do that, I think you'll be in the winner's circle.
Great tip. Thanks, Julia. Who's going to win this trophy in Rockford, Illinois? The Cherry Bowl, birthplace of the PWBA Tour. Great match next. Johnson Kulick is on the way. Bowling here in Rockford. Match 1 goes to Stephanie Johnson, 243-220 with 7 strikes. Next up, she takes on the Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick. 1 win for Kelly last year on tour in Albany. What a match. Match 2 will be here. Any player rolls a 300 game during today's telecast will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and for all the latest news and information about your favorite sport, bowling. Dave, Sydney with you, our entire crew, opening the season in grand style. How do you best preview this matchup, Sydney?
Hall of Famer versus future Hall of Famer.
Yep.
For me, former teammates now.
Who's got the edge in your mind based on the conditions and the fact, well, Steph had 1 match already, it helps, right?
Yes. Kelly's going to be left of her, though. So I would give the upper hand to Kelly, simply because when you're further left of your opponent, you can manage transition much easier. It's what makes Kelly so dangerous.
As she told us, great history for Kelly in this building. Match 2 underway, left lane for Stephanie. Kulick shot 10-pin stands. Stephanie Bull at UCF in Orlando and was actually here in this building her senior year. Team Collegiate Championship, former Rookie of the Year on tour. They lost in the finals, but she said just great memories. And she said coming back in the locker room where you guys all were this week, brought back some pretty cool, fond memories of that run. What a historic bowling center and special for both of the bowlers in this match, to be sure. Got a 10-pin.
Good start, good start.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 3 seed from Union, New Jersey, Kelly Kulick.
Hall of Famer, what an incredible career. 3 seed here And also some time as a tour rep on the PBA 50 tour recently, which she told us last night she loved being a part of.
Absolutely. She said it improved her listening and her communication skills. And watching bowling balls go down a lane for hours and hours a day can only help her.
Kelly Kulik back on TV. Not the start she wanted.
Float it.
The 4-8.
I think she said it super well. She said it floated, meaning that ball got through the oil really easily. The ball she's throwing is an IQ Tour Emerald. It's very clean, very weak compared to the ball that Stephanie is throwing, which makes sense because Kelly's rev rate is quite a bit higher than Stephanie's. So watch her right here. She creates so much leverage from the top. For me, she's my favorite person to watch on tour because it's so effortless. She gets it there so freely. And when it's in time, Kelly is extremely hard to beat.
Left lane for Kelly. Looking good. Good 10-pin. That's high praise. She's your favorite to watch?
She
Cool.
is. She was
Cool
one of
coming from you.
my first roommates on Team USA. She's had so many years on Team USA for shots like this. It's effortless. She picks up on things just quicker than other people. When talking to her about bowling balls she threw this week, that was not one of them. She told us she had no expectations on how the lanes were going to play. And I think that's brave of her.
Second frame for Stephanie. Looking good.
That ball does all the right things. It gets to the right part of the lane. It's right in front of that 6-pin as it starts to change direction. But the ball goes through the 9-pin. And so if I'm bowling Kelly Kulik and I see the ball reaction Kelly has, if I'm Stephanie, I think I'm gonna make a brave move. I'm gonna do something different. I wouldn't count on her ball reaction doubling.
Let's keep an eye on that. Left lane here for Johnson.
Yeah!
You could tell out of her hand that was going to crunch the 1-3 pocket. See, those pins had no chance.
No chance.
None whatsoever. Maybe your best shot of the day. All 10 into the pit. Really good double for Stephanie Johnson. Mom's watching. Looking for her first title since that major in the Metroplex in 2018. Back to Kelly. Back to the strike.
My favorite part of Kelly is her reaction. You are never bored watching Kelly Kulik bowl.
Well, she talked to us last night and in the interview with you about John Summer and all the sacrifices he and his family have made in the greater Rockford area, running the 5 bowling centers, starting the PWBA tour. He was HQ for the tour for many years. Such a significant part of women's bowling. Great way to start our season here. Whoa. Help on the 10. 2-8-10.
I like that one too.
Top leave.
I did like that one. Wow.
She liked it, did you?
I thought it was more around it than the other ones. And so when you get around the bowling ball, when you circle it more, you'll hear people say either way, it wants to get further down lane. And that one was more around it. It shot through it. If it was a little bit slower, it may have recovered, or a little bit less around it, we wouldn't have seen a 2-8-10.
And only an 8-pin count. Didn't get
like
the
that
2-8 there. So on the bench, Stephanie gets some help.
Stephanie's now throwing the same ball on both lanes. So the first match she was throwing a Zen Soul on the left lane and an RSTX2 on the right, and now she's throwing that RSTX2 on both lanes.
Kelly's opening is the first of the day. Definitely trying to take advantage, but not what she wanted there. 2-4-8. Things are changing, Sid. Lanes are transitioning.
They are. Stephanie's throwing an asymmetric bowling ball. And what asymmetric bowling balls do is when they reach the perfect point, they start to go forward. And that's awesome when the back ends are, as we say, really crispy, or they want to hook a lot down lane. But that's starting to blend out a little bit now. So if I was Stephanie, I would be thinking about making a change to a symmetric bowling ball so that way it will finish more continuously through the pins instead of going forward down lane.
Hall of Famer has some work to do. On and off the lanes right now, getting ready for her next shot. Win probability looks good for Stephanie Johnson now, but we're not even to the break of match 2. Johnson beat best friend Shannon O'Keefe in the first match, 243-220. Fifth frame works on a spare. Oh, good shot, ring attempt.
What I love about Stephanie right now is she was in there getting her hair and makeup ready for the show, and her little bow is from her daughter Kenzie.
Oh.
And so she's like, I just want her to know that she's here with me, even though, you know, maybe she's not in the building, she's always with her. So shout out to Kenzie for that cute little green
so
bow.
Cute. Yeah, Steph sent us some pictures today. Kids are watching and so excited. They got their own bowling ball. They might be like mom and dad, pros one day.
Keep it clean.
Follow the PWBA on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and on bowltv.com to keep up with the greatest women bowlers in the world. Get the latest video, highlights, and news each week to follow your favorites. Sent some tweets out today. I sent a bunch out. Tagged you, right?
Yes,
Did you
you
like
did.
it? Did you retweet?
I did retweet.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Even the old guy, got to keep it up.
I love social media.
Me too. It's cool. Kelly Kulik on the right lane avoids a split, and it's just a 10-pin for
It's a
her.
good one, too.
The thing about the IQ Tour core is it's extremely weak. And you pair that with a really clean, weak cover on the IQ Tour Emerald, there's not going to be a lot of room for error. These lanes are still pretty fresh. So I could see Kelly, she's so versatile, using her ball speed, slowing down a little bit to get the ball to finish the right way through the pin. I love her ball choice. Her versatility skills just may need to be a tad bit different.
One of Kelly's early memories, 2001, she talked about this last night, USBC Queens lost to Hall of Famer Carolyn Dorn-Ballard, who won 8 times that year. Liz Johnson won 5 times that year. Cara Honeychurch won 4 times. What a season for those great bowlers. And wow, that's wide right and just misses everything. 1, 2, 4, 10.
Ball change.
We just heard her say it, ball change. That was good. And what makes the women on tour so special is that they, off their hand, know. I threw that good. And so they use their instincts to make those ball changes instead of blaming themselves.
Lots to cover here, Sid. Can't do it. 10-pin stands, open frame, and Stephanie Johnson on the bench sees the lead balloon by 11 pins to 28. Halfway home, match 2. Stephanie Johnson trying to climb the ladder, looking good against the Hall of Famer Kelly Kulik. We resume match 2 right after this. Nice look, Rock River here in Rockford, Illinois. And nice looking match so far for Stephanie Johnson. Back to, well, 2 out of 3 opens Kelly Kulik. And she's in a 28-pin hole head-to-head with Stephanie Johnson in match 2. Our number 2 seed, Brianna Clemmer, joins us now. Former star at McKendree. You won't face your former head coach. We know that. But you are going to be on TV with a chance for your first title. When you're watching the other bowlers compete now, Brianna, what do you see?
I'm seeing that obviously they have to be further left than before, but they're really smoothing out the lanes, I think, perfectly for me to get further left and then just let Bree do Bree, like I said last night, and just get it right and let everything else do the work.
You have a lot of loved ones in the building for you today. How does that feel?
Oh, amazing. Just being able to have my family here, I feel so comfortable and excited, and I'm just calm and I'm ready to do work.
Best of luck. See you soon.
Thank you.
John and Nancy Summer are here We told you of the incredible contributions that his amazing family have had for the PWBA Tour in the USBC Hall of Fame. Great to see John and his family here. We had a chance to cover his grandson Nick at the ITC Wichita State, Wisconsin Whitewater, which is not far from here, by the way. Some of the coaching staff from Whitewater's watching. Sorry about your shockers. It was an amazing rally by Whitewater. Stephanie Johnson had a great get. Some help on the 7-pin, big strike, big moment. Trying to take advantage of another Hewlett Open, and that's how you do it.
Out of the break, Steph threw the shot as good as she could have. Her ball reaction is starting to go away a little bit. At this point, with what Kelly's doing, her goal is just to stay clean, make good shots. This pair was particularly hard all week, and I wouldn't be surprised if Steph knew that.
Left lane for Steph. Looks good. It's good. Wow. 60 feet to success. Stephanie Johnson crushes the 1-3 pocket. Said she tattooed it, and those pins just dust shrapnel remaining after a great shot. Wow. Foot on the gas.
Absolutely. The shot looked like she paralleled left. And what that's going to do is allow the ball to store more energy. She's in more oil. And what's interesting is Kelly's not ball changing. She's going to stay with this Ivy Tour Emerald.
Time is now for Kelly Hewlett. That's got to have a good ball reaction. Does not get what she wants to the 1-3 pocket. 2-4. 8 up, and the hill is getting steeper for Kelly here.
Yeah, the ball's just too weak. It's a small core, clean cover. But what's awesome about the 2-4-8 is not only can she make the spare, but she could have tried that other ball to get a read on what's going on these lanes.
Looking to cover, does just that. She talked to us last night, Sid, about proving to herself and to the bowling world that she still has it, the it factor you hear about a lot in sports. I mean, regardless of this result, she's got it, right? I mean, that doesn't change today.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head in the booth because what does Kelly Hewlett have to prove to any of us? Nothing.
Nothing.
Right? She's a Hall of Famer. To me, she's a really great mentor. Kelly doesn't have anything to prove. I think she just wants to love bowling for herself again. She wants to remember why she throws a bowling ball. Right now, she loves watching other people like junior team in the PBA 50. She wants to do it for her.
Known for so much in a great career. Legend. Great shot there. She's had so much success as a member of the PWBA Tour. One of her biggest accomplishments, of course. First women bowler to capture a PBA major title. One of the PBA Tournament of Champions in 2010 against Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. What a moment for women's bowling. 2010, Sid. Hard to believe.
I have goosebumps watching that video.
Sure you do. So do I. But you especially. I mean, being a member of the tour, it's got to be such a special moment to see that.
It was extremely special. One, she was throwing one of my favorite balls. But also just to see a woman go out and bowl great against the men is cool.
Looking for the turkey. Almost had the 210 to deal with. The 4-pin there. Almost a split for Stephanie. But still in good shape here in match 2.
That one was really in front of her. We're going to see that this ball is a little bit further left than we would want it to be down lane. It's going more towards the 3-pin. She would want it to go more towards the 6-pin. We don't have range finders. Those hash marks down lane, we don't have them here. It's the particular type of surface we're bowling on, so we have to use a little bit more of the reflections of the pins. The 6-pin, when it reflects forward, is exactly where that down lane rangefinder would be on the other lane surface.
Cool. Four-pin in the spare there for Stephanie. Still a big lead. You can see the max numbers looking very good. To advance up the ladder, and Clemmer, we just heard from her a moment ago. 2 seed awaits the winner of this one. Stephanie comes in a little high, 6-10 up, left lane.
I know these shots are not Stephanie's best. They're more in front of her than she would like. However, in the last match against Shannon, those shots laid off. And they hit the pocket at least. Maybe they four-pinned, but they hit the pocket. So Stephanie needs to take a little bit of a step left or go to a ball that's going to give her a little bit more hold in the middle part of the lane.
Well, it was about a year ago we saw her in Portland, Maine, on the Bayside, win the King of the Lanes Empress Edition Championship. And it was a non-title event, but the place was packed. It was an awesome environment, and she just bowled fantastic. In her element.
Stephanie loves to have some fun, so I feel like she'd bowl pretty good there all the time.
Foundation frame for Kelly, a little high, four pin, everything but go down somehow. Stands.
It's tough when you make a ball change like that. It's the first shot that she's thrown with. She ball changed to a UC2, a stronger asymmetric. It's the first shot she had on the right lane with that ball. She made the move she thought she needed to make off of her emerald. Just wasn't quite right, but you heard her say it was a good shot. That's all she can do. Control what she can control. Just keep moving forward, put it in your pocket as a line of experience.
Well, Kelly told us last night she just loves bowling in this building with a rich history, connection to the women's tour. And even though it doesn't look good today, it's still a great showing. Good start to the season to make a show. And clearly she still has it. She was 7 pin there.
That's right, I couldn't catch a shaker during the week either.
Kind of been a match of bad breaks for Kelly.
A little bit, and frankly, it's not a bad break, right? The ball is just not doing the right thing through the pins. Every break in bowling that we get, it's not bad or good. There's always a reason. So I'm sure she'll...
He's on the show, and Shannon knocked off by Stephanie Johnson. As always, great to see the Hall of Famer on TV. Kelly Killer. Her message to us, never count me out. Still competing, still a good showing for Kelly, the Hall of Famer. But the moment belongs to Stephanie Johnson. She has knocked off a couple of bowling greats in O'Keefe and Kulik. Brianna Clemmer, our number 2 seed, takes on Stephanie Johnson next here in Rockford, Illinois. Season opener of the PWBA Tour. And Brianna, subject to the Bowl TV highlight of the week, gave us our highlight as she gave the PWBA Tour its first 300 game of the year here, Sid. Her first 300 as a member of the tour in the tournament's second game. Pretty cool, huh?
It was very cool. The smile on her face says it all. She's just playing so joyful this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 2 seed from Clover, South Carolina, Brianna Clemmer.
Team USA, big star after an incredible career at McKendree for Shannon O'Keefe. She's from Clover, South Carolina, northern part of the state near the North Carolina line. York County is a small town of 5,000. Got the arm out for stability. It's her trademark. Starts her day. Ooh. Oh, almost the top 210, just a 2-pin. That's much better.
Much better. This left lane has been really tricky. I mean, Stephanie Johnson has struck 71% of the time on this left lane. So I think it's really smart that Brianna chose to start on the left lane, finish on the right, forces Steph to finish on this left lane, which she has only struck 40% of the time on.
Her arm is out for the first ball, not for the spare ball, and takes care of the 2-pin for the mark. Looks for her first title after a brilliant career at McKendree. 4-time All-American, multi-time National Player of the Year. Now Stephanie, who's been cruising here. Her 18-year run as a member of Team USA ends in 2022. She said it was time. She and Shannon. Her third bench. Good start. Takes a long time just to say that. She's got several jobs. She's always on the go. And she told us she just loves to be busy all the time. Thinking about bowling right now. Left lane. Oh, ring and 10 from good shot.
This left lane can be quite tricky because you 10-pin, and a lot of players will maybe move just a little bit to the right, but when you do that and the ball gets more in front of you, it will check and go high. So in this lane, they have to use their versatility skills, maybe move a little bit further to the left, get around it a little bit more, and that's what will allow them to have their ball go through the pins the right way.
As her mark, and she's having some fun. She said it last night. As you said earlier in the show, it's about enjoying the moment. See it, feel, and embrace it, right? SFE. That's her theme this year. Second frame for Clemmer. No 7-10. That's the good news. 10-pin stance. The arm out. Very unique, Sydney. Why does she do that?
She does it for a couple of reasons. It all started because she wanted her swing to be straighter. And when you put that left arm out, it forces you to drop the ball into the swing freely. When she puts her left arm on the ball, it can get a little bit tense through the front part of her approach. And the swing will start to bump, and she doesn't like that at all.
Ten-pin got that. Ever try it yourself?
Yeah, maybe once or twice. It doesn't go so well for me.
Not for you.
No, not for me.
She talked about using her legs a lot more. A lot of help from Brian O'Keefe, Team USA camp last week.
Yeah, the women had an opportunity to work with Kim Terrell-Kearney.
Sure.
And Coach Kim is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Congrats.
On Wednesday as well. Yes, congrats to her. And not only is she an amazing bowler, but a great coach. And Bree said that something just clicked this week with her.
This will be tough. 2-4-8-10 lead. What do you see here?
The ball never sees the lane. So there's polish on that bowling ball. So it wants to shoot through the oil. In order for it to pick up a little bit sooner, she'd have to throw it slower or go to a bowling ball that wants to hook a little bit earlier. As the women start to move left, they're moving into more volume. So although it's a medium volume pattern, when they start to the right, there's not that much volume over there. When they move left, there's more and more oil. So they may have to ball up, which seems counterintuitive. A lot of bowlers want to ball down, ball down, ball down. But sometimes when you move into more volume on the sport patterns, you have to be willing to ball
I
up
feel more comfortable moving my feet
to something earlier.
than doing that.
So you need to go left so it doesn't get that far down lane.
Help from tour reps. Johnson trying to take advantage. Right lane. Yeah! All that late kick on the 7-pin. Down it goes. Is it Steph's day or what? So far, yes.
I really think so. You know, I said it at the end of Kelly's match. You kind of make your own breaks. And what's unique about Steph is she switched to this UC2, which compared to the ball she was throwing earlier, has a smoother cover, but a core that's going to be a little bit quicker. So she'll be able to get those off hits a little bit more because she knows it's going to hook in the correct part of the lane.
Goes for a 27-pin lead. A little high, 6-10, almost crossed over Brooklyn style.
That left lane is starting to hook early. So the girls are going to have to be willing to take a step left. So that way their ball can get through the front part of the lane.
A little big message last night in our meeting with Stephanie. Try not to get too caught up in each moment. Focus on making good shots. It's not easy when it's happening real time with the title on the line. So far, so good. Covers, 6'10", has her spare. Clean bowling for Stephanie Johnson, and now her third match of the day. Her opponents haven't been so fortunate.
No, Stephanie said that she didn't really like that shot, but then she came back and made a hand motion like the ball is doing something that she doesn't quite like. Play.
Touch shot, 3-pin. 24 frames, Stephanie Johnson, no opens. That's solid bowling. And that's what leads you to a title.
We can see that Bree wasn't as stable as she would have loved to be on that shot, which caused it to be pulled. It was left of where she wanted it to get down lane. We heard her say push, get through it. She was fortunate to just leave a 3-pin.
She talked about visualizing raising the trophy. If you believe it, you can do it. Well, now she's going to have to believe a win over Stephanie Johnson because she's down 17. Stephanie, in her 5th frame, works on a spare. There's the win probability. Wow. Stephanie has owned that stat so far through 2.5 matches. Clemmer needs a strike here. Bring a 10-pin, good shot.
So Bree's throwing a pin down radical Bigfoot, and she drilled a pin up one for the show. She wanted one that was gonna create a little bit more shape down lane. And right now I'm seeing that Bree is fighting that when she gets the ball in front of her, it overhooks, and when she gets left and gets in the oil, it doesn't want to quite go through the pins the right way. If I was her ball rep, I'd be saying, let's make a big move right here, because we're gonna need to against Stephanie. Stephanie really knows what's going on. Let's make a big move and go to that pin up Bigfoot.
10-pin, got it. Let's see if she does. She felt more calm than ever, she told us last night, despite all the heavy hitters on this show. Some big names. She's going to have to rely on all the focus she can muster in the second half of this match with Stephanie Johnson. Right lane, Stephanie. Looks high, 6. No, all done.
Oh my gosh.
She turned away. Looked like the 6-10. Instead, it's a strike for Stephanie Johnson plus the bow, which I like a lot. It's her day.
It's looking like it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Wow, thank you very much.
Right now, Steph just needs a good shot. She hasn't felt like the last 2 have been good, and it's hard to make moves when you're not making good shots.
That's her 28-pin lead. Got it!
Let's go! Come on.
Things looking good for Stephanie Johnson. Climbing the ladder here in Rockford. Pumped up for good reason. 28-pin lead on Brianna Clemmer in match number 3. Season opener, PWBA Tour here in Rockford, Illinois. Dave Sidney watching Stephanie Johnson, 28-pin lead. Stephanie, subject of the BPAA moment of the match, said a moment ago, 5th frame. Sometimes you just need a break or 2, am I right? There's 10-pin. Into the 6. And to me, the best part was turn away. Now I got 6-10. No, strike. And the butt.
It'd be awesome if every moment during qualifying when that happened, we had cheers like that. But what's so great about the PWBA is right now we have fans back.
Yeah,
Last season,
awesome.
we didn't have full buildings, and this season we do. And it's a lot of fun.
Clemmer needs a rally, and that's how you do it, see, with a big strike down to TV break.
And that's a ball change for Bree Clem. She went from a radical Bigfoot to a Rodman curl. Rodman Pearl is a stronger bowling ball, and so you're going to see Bree's break point get a little bit further right than what it was before. But she's going to stay with the big foot on the left lane.
See the max score. Time is now for Clemmer. That's a pretty good shot, 10-pin stands.
Can't throw better than that.
I think she said it best.
Well, she learned so much from her former head coach, Shannon O'Keefe. McKendry, the mental game. So much of the physical part of her bowling. And with Team USA.
All the women that Bree could have faced today have been current or former teammates of hers on Team USA. So
isn't that something?
Her comfortability with these women is really high. So although she is new to these live TV shows, she's still familiar with all the women she's bowling against. It's nothing new to her.
Seventh frame, looks for a turkey. Big shot for Johnson. Yeah! Got it! 38-pin lead. Rockford, Illinois, in addition to being home of the Women's Professional Bowling Tour, also home to one of the original franchises of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, the Rockford Peaches. Depicted in the hit movie A League of Their Own, Peaches played in all 12 seasons of the league, winning a title 3 times. Amazing women's sports history here in Rockford, Illinois. And the movie was awesome. Wasn't Madonna great, though? I mean,
very.
Did you see it?
Maybe clips here and there.
I know you're going. Great film. Stephanie. 4-pin, not this time. Dina Davis was also amazing.
Both Stephanie and Bree's bowling balls are hooking more overall on the left lane than they are on the right, which is what's making this left lane so difficult. There were some great names this week who had 120s, 130s, 140s, 150s on this particular pair that the girls are bowling on. It was tough because the two lanes were quite different from each other. And so we only have a couple of shots to figure out how they differ and if they were different from the last pair. And making great shots in pressure situations like these is even more difficult.
Saw the win probability numbers. Numbering a 10-pin. Good shot again there for Brianna Clemmer. She want to have a shout out to Jimmy and Barbara Clemmer, her grandparents, Poppy and Mama, who've been so instrumental in raising her. You see that? Look at that last shot. Jimmy was sick recently, health problems. Overcome all that. So glad to hear that he's well and watching today.
Yeah, she had the support of a lot of her Team USA members and teammates and all the women on tour that made a video for her grandpa when he was in the hospital. It was very cool.
We told you about her great collegiate success. Flashback for Brianna. National champion McKendry, there she is. Under the bright lights. ITC ISL championship for the McKendry Bearcats and head coach Shannon O'Keefe. And what a run she had.
She was throwing the same ball that she's throwing right now.
How about that?
My tour roommate, Brie Cote, and I asked her why she throws any other bowling ball. Because when we went to Colombia together for Team USA this last October, she struck every time and she threw it.
So what was the answer? Why not?
Yeah, well, sometimes the bowling balls don't always work all the time.
Things do change, right, with conditions. Yeah,
we're being a little sassy. But really, it feels like every time Brie is throwing a Rodman Pearl, it's going to go well for her.
Celebrating a strike. Not enough of those in this match here with Stephanie Johnson. Down by 38 late. Looking good for Stephanie to continue to climb the ladder all the way to the top seed, Liz Culkin. Each have a major championship under their belt. Each looking for their first win in 4 years. Stephanie Johnson help on the 10-pin. Down it goes, cruising to a victory. Wow, she is bowling really well here today.
She looks extremely comfortable. Like, almost like this is home to her. She said she had so many memories here. Only good vibes in this building for her.
7 pins wins it here. Sit. And she will take on the top seed, Liz Culkin. Yes! Got 10. Got the win. Keeps on trucking. Stephanie Johnson is into the title match. Wire to this point. She has been brilliant. Next up, Liz Culkin, the top seed. Our championship matchup is set. Stephanie Johnson beats Brianna Clemmer. Denied a chance for her first career title, at least for now. 226-200 is the match 3 final score. Johnson to the championship match to take on the top seed, Liz Culkin. Climbing the ladder, Stephanie Johnson first against her best friend, Shannon O'Keefe, then the Hall of Famer Kelly Kulick, and then Clemmer, the former collegiate star McHenry, all falling to Stephanie Johnson. But next is Liz Culkin, who bids for her first title in 4 years. Same for Stephanie Johnson. Final advice from the tour reps. Johnson, Culkin, championship match is on the way. Which bowler, Stephanie Johnson or Liz Culkin, will join those names as a champion here?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our number 1 seed from Schenectady, New York, Liz Culkin.
Just outside Albany, the capital region of upstate. Looks for her 3rd title. Was the number 2 seed at the Queens last year. Finished 3rd USBC Queens. Has a major, 2018 US Open to her credit. Has a good start left lane. Punches the 1-3 pocket, Sydney. That's the start you want.
Absolutely, and Liz is one of the more animated players out here on tour. We always know how Liz is feeling. We can hear her, we can see her. She's just so fierce. She really embodies the philosophy of the PWBA, you know, bowl fearless.
Hashtag Bowl Fearless.
Hashtag
saw
bowl
all my
fearless.
tweets. I know you retweeted. You saw that. Liked it. Longtime member of Team USA. It's going to end, though, as we talked about. Big storyline on the women's tour this year. She and Shannon O'Keefe. Retiring after 2022. Can she keep on trucking? Yes. Good start to the championship match for Stephanie Johnson.
Doesn't matter how. She said it doesn't matter how. All 10 just have to fall down. She's sticking with the same ball that she threw last match, a UC2, pinned down, so it's going to flare a little bit less.
You like that choice?
I do, because Stephanie is awesome when her angles can be more in front of her. If she was to go with a pin-up ball, it would force her feet further to the left and give the advantage to Liz. But right now, Stephanie can play to her strengths. And that's exactly what that pin-down ball is going to do. It's going to slow down when she misses left and go forward.
Any player who rolls a 300 game during our telecast tonight will receive a $10,000 bonus courtesy of GoBowling.com. Visit GoBowling.com to find out local bowling centers, get tips from the pros, and for all the latest news and information about your favorite sport, bowling. Well, we are off to a perfect start. There's Culkin. Wow. Powerful shot through the 1-3 pocket, 8-pin stands.
This is throwing 2 different balls. A Strata Hybrid from track on the left lane.
Best 2 first shots on TV ever, I think.
I think she's right. She said, I threw 2 really great shots. And a damn good Verge Pearl on the right lane from DB8. The ball she's throwing on the right lane is quite a bit weaker than the one she's throwing on the left lane. I believe she's also sliding further left on this left lane. So we saw the ball start to hook earlier on this left lane. She's embracing it.
Always interesting to me what the top seed does during the show. As we asked her in the interview, that seems like a while ago, at the top of the broadcast. A lot of observations. Watching the bowlers, looking for ball reaction. And her choice of equipment out there. 3-6 up
Gotta
for
get it
Liz.
right.
Yeah, I saw her standing off to the right for a lot of the match. Shannon Plahowski standing over here. She's really close with her, and she was just observing. Wanted to see what was going on. She feels like some number 1 seeds.
TV delivers live multi-channel coverage of the PWBA Tour, PBA 50, Team USA, and USBC Collegiate and Youth Tournaments, plus much more great bowling content. Visit bowltv.com to subscribe today. Bowling lives here. Great aerial view of Rockford, Illinois. We're about an hour plus from Chicago, close to the Wisconsin line. Johnson. Oh. Lot of lumber left.
We've seen Steph lose her footing on that right lane a couple of times now. And each time her shot has just been more in front of her than she would have liked. And this time she paid the worst price you can pay. A huge split, the Greek church. This one's going to be really tough to convert.
4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Greek church. Almost the 4 pin. That was close. It's her first open frame of the day. Climbing the ladder from the first match to the championship tilt here.
That was so close. The bowling center installed new kickbacks on this pair before we got here. And man, it almost played in Stephanie's favor.
That was close.
That would have been awesome.
First open in 32 frames today for Stephanie. How about that? As the 5 seed. Pretty good bounce back shot.
This left lane is the tricky one for Steph. She's throughout all of her matches running the ladder. She's only struck 37% of the time on this left lane. So for her, leaving a single pin on a good shot, she's fine with. She knows that she's seeing the lane the right way. When you wrap 10, you can't really do much differently. She'll make her spare, get up on the right lane, make another great shot.
Game changer with the open frame. She was cruising along. Now down by 5 pins. And Liz Culkin steps up in the 4th, working on a spare. She said to us last night, I feel like I'm among the elite bowlers in the world. I've got to prove it. You got to go out and win. It's been a while for her, 4 years since she's had a title. She said, what a way to start the season. Be on TV, top seed, that's a touch high, and the 3-6 up for her.
This right lane's starting to catch up to the left one with how much it wants to hook in the front part of the lane. I know both girls are not thrilled. They feel like they're throwing not so great shots. These two players are two of the best women in the world. As women, we tend to have a tendency to blame ourselves a little bit more than the lanes, where the men are a little bit more of the opposite. Sometimes we have to accept that it's not us, it's the lane.
Little hop, skip, and jump there. Hoping to get that second straight 3-6 conversion. And she's got that to stay clean and maintain a 3-pin lead. It's our Cisco spare of the game. Just enough there, Sid, for the 3-6.
And that's why we throw spare balls. They're going to go pretty straight. Liz knew she might have a chance to chop it.
That was our Cisco spare of the week. Got Blaine crossing over. Almost a Brooklyn strike for Liz Culkin. 3-10 baby split instead.
During her warm-up shot, she was throwing that Strata hybrid on both lanes, and she said to her tour reps, Mike and Jeff, I want to throw the Doom Converge Pro on the right lane because I think the Strata hybrid's just hooking too much on this lane. And it's starting to look like she's getting that same feeling on this left lane. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a ball change from her.
Not always easy.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Great conversion. No room for error in the championship match.
Liz's spare ball hooks a little bit, which makes this spare a little bit more difficult for her. She has to be really accurate, so that shot was impressive.
Fifth frame for Johnson.
Yes. Come on.
Delivers. Win probability up. What made this a great shot, Sid?
Stephanie's throwing the just right ball at the just right time. It goes forward in the perfect part of the lane. I mean, she struck 79% of the time on that right lane. She just needs to keep doing exactly what she's doing. This left lane is the one that's a little bit more tricky. If she can strike on this,
37%.
yes, if she can strike on this left lane, that'll put some pressure on Liz.
One pin match here. To take the lead, back 6 frame.
Yeah!
Got a tap on the 10. Down it goes. And Johnson back on top, halfway home of our championship match. You ready, Sid, for a great finish?
I'm so ready.
This is going to be awesome. 9-pin lead for Johnson. Championship on the line to open up the 2022 PWBA Tour. Big double, Stephanie Johnson strikes in the 5th and 6th frames after opening up with 2 strikes. A 9-pin lead, halfway home of our season opener on the PWBA Tour. Top seed Liz Koken. 5th seed Stephanie Johnson trying to climb the ladder for another title. This is it. Out of the break, Liz Koken.
Yes.
Big strike. Big answer.
Love's the same for us.
Liz told us that today was going to be a really, really busy day. She had to check out of her hotel, and she came to watch her friend bowl the Rockford Regional. She was cheering her friend on. I bowled with her friend, so I had Liz behind my pair the whole time.
Another good shot here. Finish
Always
high.
cheering for her friends. That's what's cool about the women's tour, is we just want everyone to be successful, because if one of us is successful, it makes the tour better.
Great message. Left
See.
lane, Koken.
Yeah!
You bet. Big strike, Liz Koken. Puts the pressure back on Stephanie Johnson.
Looked like Liz moved a little bit further left on that left lane. Definitely did. Getting her ball further right quicker. Probably left her eyes in the same spot. We heard her say, see it. She wants to see her ball create more shape down lane when she moves that far left.
Family watching back home in Schenectady. Big watch party going on. Same for Stephanie in the Dallas Metroplex. For the lead again. Got the lead again. Late tap on the 7-pin, down it goes, and she's back on top.
I love this shot from Stephanie because it looks almost like a carbon copy from the previous shots on the right lane. It's like I said earlier, she's so accurate. It makes her so good. Because when you're accurate, you can make moves easily, decisions easily. You don't have to guess. You just know.
Back and forth we go here. Stephanie for the 4-bagger and a 19-pin lead. Another huge shot in our championship match.
Yeah!
Got it! Crushes, and we mean crushes the 1-3 pocket into oblivion. Those pins had no chance, and Stephanie up by 19. Wow, this is some great bowling here, Sid.
Her reactions say everything. She's so excited. Both of these women, they bowl fearlessly. I know I already said that, but it's reality.
It's true.
And these are the women we want, the young girls who are trying to come out on the PWBA. These are the women we want them to look up to.
10 pin for Culkin.
Good shot. Good shot.
I liked this shot from Liz. There's not a lot you can do in that situation. She thought she threw it good.
Good shot, girl. Stay clean.
Second time in her career, she is the top seed. Also, in 2018, Twin Cities Open lost to Rocio Restrepo. 10 pin. Speaking of 2018, her biggest victory came that year, U.S. Women's Open against Stephanie Johnson. So it's a rematch. She captured her second PWBA Tour title, first major, 218-196 win to take home the title in Orlando. At Boardwalk Bowl, what a moment that was for Liz Culkin, trying to repeat the feat with a title here
Finish
today.
high.
Won't be easy though, down by 20 pins late. Left lane.
Yes!
Got it.
Go quick. Come on. Make her shoot it.
What I love about Liz is how competitive she is. So competitive, and she's not afraid to show it. Sometimes we can get a little bit shy on how competitive we are, but women in sports are just as fierce as men in sports.
Stephanie trying for her fourth career title here, Sid. Be her first since the Players' Championship we talked about in Plano, Texas, at her home center for her first and only major. It's been a while for Stephanie. Foundation frame, go up by 30, 10 pin,
Good shot.
stands. Good shot.
Really good.
That's one of those shots that's a little bit more in front of her than the other ones. Doesn't get quite as far right to the friction, so the ball doesn't have as much energy to go through the pins correctly. But you know you have good ball motion when you can miss like that and still hit the pocket, and she still had a really great chance at striking.
Has her mark. Inching closer to the title. Needs 2 strikes and 2 pins to win it all. Founder of the tour, right behind her, John Summer. This historic building, historic bowling town. Stephanie would like to make some more history right here. Looking for the first.
Yes!
There's one. Her biggest fan watching.
She gets my favorite hit in bowling. 4-pin going late. Oh, man.
Little Landon Henderson, 4-year-old, two-handed lefty. One of Stephanie's biggest fans is here in person. Needs it. remembering her late father, who in an emotional moment for Stephanie this week came up on a Facebook memory. She felt his presence was with her the entire week. And that is that. Stephanie Johnson wins the 2022 PWBA Rockford Open. Opens up the tour season in style with her 4th career title. We'll return to Rockford with Sydney
Levi Kenzie, I love you.
to present
You're the reason
the
I do what
trophy.
I do.
A special tribute to her kids. Watching back home in the Dallas Metroplex. Johnson, a winner today. 228-203, Stephanie Johnson, 4th career PWBA Tour title, knocks off the top seed Liz Culkin. Time now for the trophy and flower presentation.
We are here with the 2022 PWBA Rockford Open champion, Stephanie Johnson, and we have John and Nancy Summers here to present her with the trophy and flowers.
It was definitely some fearless bowling. On behalf of the Illinois State Bowling Proprietors, the Cherry Bowl, and all these great fans, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Stephanie, that was some amazing bowling that we saw. Tell us, how does it feel to win your 4th PWBA title?
I can finally breathe now. Oh my gosh. This was a week I was channeling my dad, and I just had this calmness over me, and I just bowled with such appreciation for being here. And John is really the reason that we're here, you know, all the history here at Cherry Bowl, and I just couldn't be more thankful for the opportunity.
It's been 4 years. What made the difference?
I think just my mindset, you know, just coming into play with an appreciation that we have this opportunity. And of course, my sponsors, Rotogrip, Coolwick, Vice, Extreme Travel, and you know, my family at home. I love you guys so much. Mom, Chris, Levi, Kenzie, this is for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Stephanie Johnson.
What a day for the 5th seed. Stephanie Johnson climbs the ladder, knocks off bowling legends en route to her 4th career PWBA Tour title. She wins the 2022 PWBA Rockford Open Championship here in Rockford, Illinois. Be sure to join us Tuesday, May 24th at 7 Eastern for the USBC Queens from Stardust Bowl in Addison, Illinois. Now for Sydney Brummett and the entire CBS Sports Network, Coach Dave Ryan saying so long from Rockford in association with the United States Bowling Congress. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.